He actually raped me without me wanting to. So that even made it worse. That made my anger, like, it just made me horrible. Like, wanting to get all these perverts.
Rachel, tell me a little bit of your story. Where did you grow up?
I grew up in Compton, California, with my grandma. My mom gave me away when I was 3 days old. So my grandma raised me.
What was going on with Mom that she gave you away?
I think she was too young, didn't want to take the responsibility. She was partying back then and having too many boyfriends and stuff like that in and out of her life.
How was life with your grandmother?
My grandma gave me everything that I needed except freedom, because she was very, like, too overprotective. So that's how I ended up the way that I ended up. Mm-hmm.
How would you describe your childhood?
It was good. I grew up with 3 uncles in the house, and that's why I was a little tomboyish, but it was pretty good. I always was around my cousins. I was a straight A student, never missed a day, and I was a good kid for the most part until I got to middle school.
What happened in middle school?
Well, my grandma wouldn't let me have that many friends to go out with because she was overprotective because, of course, where I grew up at. And then, so I started running away and stuff and kicking it with the wrong people.
And the wrong people led to what?
They gangbanged and did drugs and just were out doing dumb things at the time.
That's not terribly unusual, though. I mean, that's a lot of kids get caught up in that.
Mm-hmm. Yes. So because of that, I ran away, and I only lasted probably a week that I ran away. And my grandma had little pictures of me all over the city looking for me. And finally she caught me and she sent me to Colorado, which didn't last long because I was horrible over there too. Yeah. My aunt said, "Oh no, you gotta take your granddaughter back." Yes.
But you got involved in something much heavier than everything you just talked about.
Well, yes, after I came back from Colorado, that's when I got jumped in my hood. And I was 13 years old, so I started gangbanging at that time. And selling drugs, gangbanging, that was my whole entire little life, up to the age that I got arrested, of course. But yeah, I started transporting drugs to Colorado at a young age in the Greyhound. I had my own place and own car at 15. Yeah, and I was really just into gangbanging and selling drugs. Well, at the age of 8, my grandma couldn't take me at the time to New York with her, so I had to stay with my mom and one of her new boyfriends or whatever. I got molested for a whole week by her boyfriend. And I couldn't tell nobody because he threatened to kill me and my mom if I spoke about it. So that's part of my anger towards what I did to these people or whatever. But yeah, and then at 15, I got with one of my homeboys, the very first man that I got with. I thought I had to marry him and everything. I had 2 kids with him, but my second pregnancy, it was all about domestic violence. I mean, I would get literally knocked out, pregnant. I would only hold my stomach so he wouldn't kill my baby. The whole pregnancy, he would beat me, suffocate me, lock me up in a little closet. Like, it was horrible. And I really had to, escape, not exaggerating, how J-Lo escaped in that movie from her abuser, like that, when my daughter was 6 months old. And I couldn't talk to nobody. I couldn't tell nobody because, again, fear was embedded in my head. And I had to live with that by myself with no support every day by myself.
You did something with the man who molested you, right?
I wish, but I didn't, because by the time that I was already grown and, well, not grown, teenager, and I remember what happened to me at 8, and I was looking for him. It's like he disappeared off the face of earth, seriously. So all throughout my teenage years, like going out and stuff with my friends, like we would get harassed by men, like showing their penises in cars, like trying to get at us, like if we were hookers, and we weren't. We were gangbangers, just crossing the street or something, walking down somewhere, and I didn't like that. That made me flash from the time that at 8, and also because once I left my abuser, the one that was hitting me in my pregnancy, he actually raped me without me wanting to. So that even made it worse. That made my anger, like, it just made me horrible. Like, wanting to get all these perverts.
And what did you do about that?
So before I got arrested, all these people that were trying to get at me or show me their private parts and do all that, like I got them. I lured them into places, and they got killed or beat up, stolen from, carjacked, everything.
When you say murdered, what do you mean murdered?
2.
You murdered two of these guys?
Mm-hmm.
How'd you do that?
A shot to the head.
Did you get caught?
Mm-hmm.
And you did prison time for this?
Yeah, I got sentenced to 22 years.
These were guys who molested you, or just did things that were inappropriate?
Inappropriate. Try to grab on me immediately. Try to lure me into their cars. It was just disgusting. Like, what I had to go through.
Does the anger that you felt, that motivated you to do that, did that come from probably what happened to you when you were 8?
Yes. Now that of course, like after speaking to a lot of like mental health specialists and stuff, like yes, my anger came from that, and also from my domestic violence too. Like,
sure.
He also did what I told him that happened. Like, he basically raped me because I wasn't with him anymore, and I didn't want to have sex, and he beat me to hell and did that. So yeah, I had to go through that again. It's like very traumatizing when you feel hate towards this person because they could have killed your baby inside of you. All I was trying to do was always protect my baby. And I call her the miracle baby because she was born. I don't know how, but that's a miracle baby.
So you were a young mother, probably, in committing these murders? And doing other things that were close to that, sounds like.
Yes. But see, there's a little reason why. Because my kids got taken. My own mom, I told her to, and I don't know why. It was one night that I went with my friend, and one night that my kids were there, and I got arrested, and I didn't know my mom's number by memory, so I couldn't call anybody and tell them, hey, I'm arrested, like I'm in jail, right? And then she called Children's Services on me, and they took my kids. I stayed in county for a year for it was just a robbery, attempted robbery, because I had a gun to somebody's head, and they caught me like that. So I go to the county, and I fight my case for my children. I do every single class they asked me to do, and they still take my kids. That's when I really lost it. That's when I didn't care about nothing else, because they took my world, my heart, everything away from me.
So that kind of made you even angrier.
Yes. That destroyed my heart, because I wanted them. I was regardless if I was gangbanging and selling drugs and stuff, my kids never needed for nothing. They were well taken care of. I always had them. I never let nobody like take care of them because of what happened to me. Not even my son. Like, He would even go to continuation school with me. Like, I would take him and everything until, like, I couldn't carry him no more because, my stomach. Because I was pregnant already. Because my 2 kids are, like, exactly a year apart. A year and 4 days. So it was my son and then my daughter. So, yeah, until I couldn't carry my son anymore and I was about to have the baby, I stopped going to continuation school. But then that happened. Oh, I came out of the county enraged. And then a year later, that's when that happened. I got arrested and did 21 years flat in prison.
Looking back at that, do you regret that? Do you regret doing murdering these guys and whatever else you did?
Just to stop them from hurting somebody else? No, I don't regret it. I would do it again with a smile on my face. Because look at how many people get raped and molested and nobody speaks out because these men embed, like, so much fear into our hearts and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's insane how often this happens.
Mm-hmm.
How are you doing today?
Today, well, I got out 3 years ago, and right away I had 2 jobs. I wanted to become a medical assistant and do drug and alcohol counseling, but the prison had me on Suboxone for pain management because day before I was supposed to parole because they rolled me over. I didn't parole that next day because I beat up some girl so bad that a cop got me and he beat me up. He made me stutter for 6 months, a concussion for 6 months, and yeah, it was horrible. I get migraines to this day. But yeah, I wanted to be that. So they put me on Suboxone for pain management, and I was kicking that, and then a friend of mine that was out here, I wasn't using for nothing because I didn't believe in using drugs. I sold them, so I seen how people would get. And then she introduced me to fentanyl. So to this day, I'm hooked on fentanyl and crystal.
Oh, you are?
Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, I hate it with a passion. I want to get off of it, but it's so hard. And I was going to school too, like just recently, but my mom passed away 2 months ago. No, 2.5 months ago. And I kind of lost it because I forgave her, regardless of whatever. That's my mother, We only have one mother. And my grandma is like my mom too. I love and adore that lady. But my mom passed away, and that same night, that same day that I was going to go see her and my ride didn't come through is the same night that she died at 3:33 in the morning. So I kind of lost it in my head, and I stopped going to school for the moment because I just can't. And I've been going through some stuff too, but I can't concentrate in school. And I was getting like excellent grades. Like, I want to be the best RN there is, but for now it's just like I can't do it.
And you tell me about your kids. You were locked up for most of their lives, right?
Yeah, my son, he's a good kid. I guess he got in a car accident, and he was celebrating from graduating school, and he was the only one without a seatbelt from his little friends, and he flew out the window. He went into a coma. I almost lost him. Thank God he survived, but he has a scar from here to here. And I guess he lost it, like, mentally for, like, a little bit, and he beat up somebody, and he ended up in jail, and I was devastated. I was like, oh, no, because he would keep in touch with me he would even write me. He ended up in Jamestown, thank God, and he left. And ever since then, he's been out, and he's doing good. And my daughter, when she hit 18, she wouldn't talk to me no more, and that hurt me because that was, like, when she would come visit me, she wouldn't even want to leave no more. Like, the guy that I was with, their dad, his mom adopted them. She did me the favor so they wouldn't be in the system because I was losing it. Like, I didn't want my kids in the system at all. And she was like, you know what? I'm going to do you the favor. I'm going to adopt the babies. They're my grandkids anyways. So in the birth certificate, it don't have my name at all, and that hurt me. But at least they were with her. Well, yeah, so I got out, and I seen them. And then I see my daughter that hasn't spoke to me, but then I found out why she wouldn't speak to me, and it was horrible. And that broke my heart even more.
Why did she not speak to you?
She had to go through the same thing that I went through when I was, what coincidence, at 8, by her own uncle. 6 nieces got molested and messed with for years till they could speak up now at that age. And he's in jail right now. And the grandma and the aunt don't believe my daughter or the other nieces, so they're against her and all that stuff. It's just like horrible. So she had to endure that, and she didn't have me. And her dad was a piece of shit, basically. And he was never around because he was a crackhead. That's when he started hitting on me, when he started using crack. So yeah, but when I heard that did something else to me. Like, that was, like, that's when I wish I could go back in time, and I wish I wouldn't have done nothing. And I just had my kids with me, and I would have protected them.
What is your biggest regret in all of this?
Not being there for my kids, not being able to raise them myself. I regret that one little time that I asked my mom for a favor to take care of them, and she did that to me. Like, I wasn't her. I did want my kids. She didn't want me, but that's fine. I mean, I forgave her, but I wanted my kids. They were my pride and joy. Like, I'll be with them everywhere, literally. Because I will always be in the back of my head, like when I was 8, like something like that could happen to either or.
And what would you say is the most important thing you've learned in your life after all of this?
The most important thing is my kids. I wish that I could have just been a mom, a regular mom, and had my freedom. But it's too late. I mean, I don't know. And now I can't have kids. The prison did a little surgery on me because they kept on saying I had cervical cancer. Well, come to find out, they did that to a lot of females at that time, and they messed me up. Like, I have like something wrong with my cervix and like all kinds of weird stuff. And they shut down the hospital that the prison would take us to also, and they told me I would never have kids in my life again. And now that I'm with this man that I'm in love with and everything, we've been together for 2 years, I can't give him a baby. Or I don't get a second chance to be a mother to a little baby and, you know, raise them and stuff. But I still have my kids, you know. But yeah, that's crazy, huh?
Yeah, you've got one hell of a life story.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and then guess what? In prison, I had to be touched on by an officer. And I was, well, at the time I was going through a little phase. I was gay. And then the man would, you know, just mess with me my whole term. And I was like, oh my God, like, sir, like, I am gay. Like, I don't know, I want to be with you. Well, he got one opportunity to touch on me, and that was when I was in confinement because I got in trouble. In prison, I would be in a lot of trouble, but I also, like, took the time and took advantage of it for my education. I got my GED, did college. I took all kinds of vocations, like, to, you know, teach myself stuff. And pretty much I was successful in all that. But, yeah, I had to go through, again, perverts touching on me. Like, and I don't give them a reason to. I really don't. It's just how, I guess, other females are out there just throwing themselves out to men and doing all that. The men don't have respect for females, period, or some, actually, because not all men are like that. But for the most part, I bump into all the perverts. That's crazy.
All right, Rachel, thank you so much for sharing your story.
Mm-hmm.
I wish you lots of luck from here on out.
All right, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Mm-hmm.
When I was designing the first White Underbelly book, I realized that there were so many great portraits that weren't going to make it into that book. They just wouldn't fit. And once I saw how well that first book sold, I knew I'd have to design a second book. This second book is finally ready to ship. Like the first one, this book has a collection of some of the best portraits from Soft White Underbelly, accompanied by a quote from that person's interview. This book features another group of Rebecca portraits, as well as a collection of color images of the Whitaker family, and plenty of others. You can order yours for $125 or $150 for a signed copy at softwhiteunderbelly.org. Again, like the first book, once this book is sold out, I will not be printing more of them. The portraits are what Soft White Underbelly is all about, and these two books contain the best of all that work. Thank you for watching.